Hey, what's up everybody? That's right, I am back. Long overdue. I know I've been shooting a lot of stuff. I'm shooting a short documentary with a friend of mine who's a music producer. I'm doing a collab with Matt Mort, as some of you may know, some of you from the Calgary YouTube crowd. Along with some photography jobs that I'm picking up as I go along. So it's been very busy enough that I couldn't really do this, the one-on-one video, but today I am here. Let's talk Star Wars. So this Friday I went out and I watched The Last Jedi, and I gotta say, I didn't like it. I kind of hate it at times. I mean, there are so many freedoms Rian Johnson took with some of the characters, their story arc, their backgrounds, the Force itself, that I couldn't see where he was going with it, and when it ultimately led nowhere, I was pretty disappointed. So there's that one scene that for you who've seen the movie know exactly what I'm talking about, where one character exhibits this amazing inner knowledge of the Force, and it felt so off. I was just kind of like, what? I've always been a big advocate to exploring more of the Force and taking more of the paths that the games or the comic books and the vast extended universe takes with the Force, where they use it as this very just unstoppable, well, for the lack of a better word, force. But I could not condone the way they did it in this movie, the path they took to show the kind of the other avenues that you could use the Force for, and especially the character that they used to show that. It was very jarring, and to follow the movie past that, it was very difficult. And then on top of that, they started creating subplots that led nowhere. Characters that weren't developed at all. I mean, this is the second movie of a new trilogy. This is the time to really get into each character and explore them more and show them what they're made of. That did not happen with the majority of the characters. The only character that we really get to see developed is Rey, and again, in a very kind of fast-paced way. I mean, it's just such a bummer to see a character that is automatically good at everything she sets out to do. It's very different than Luke in the first trilogy. It's completely different. Rey is pretty much an expert in everything, and she does not waver, and the training is barely even there to begin with. And I can't back a character that is already good from the start and there's no room for improvement. There's nothing's interesting there. So even her story arc wasn't interesting to me because it felt like she wasn't going through challenges. She was just exceeding at all of them. And then on the other side with Finn, which I really wanted to see develop more after that crazy fight that he had with Kylo Ren. He was also healed in a jiffy, by the way. I was actually expecting for him to have a more kind of like mechanical aspect. Every time these characters get into a crazy fight, they lose something of value and it has to be replaced, and I thought that would happen, but no, he's just up and going and off to his pointless subplot with another pointless character called Rose, which is oh, Rose. Why, Rose? Why did you have to exist? Why? Now, there's also some good parts, some great scenes. The cinematography in the movie is amazing, and Kylo Ren is still there to save the day as the only interesting character in this goddamn fucking movie. Alright? He's still the one. So there are good things, but they're just peppered in. I mean, it was supposed to be the entire movie. I'm not gonna lie, I was expecting so much for The Last Jedi. I was expecting they were gonna hopefully, I was so praying that would happen where we get kind of like a role reversal, where maybe Kylo Ren would actually come into the light and Rey, out of frustration because of Luke being a horrible teacher. You get to know more about this when you watch the movie, but he is horrible at teaching the Force to his students. And finally, we get to see a dark character come into the light instead of the opposite, but they didn't. They did. So, without spoiling the movie, I think that's about it. That's all I can say. I was very disappointed. I will still rewatch it because I am a big fan, and I think that Star Wars is gonna get by because of that, because a lot of people are just watching because we're huge fans, we're huge nerds, and you know, Christmas comes with a few traditions, so I want Star Wars to be another Christmas tradition, but let's make it a good one. Stop f***ing up with what's already good. Just tell more stories. Don't take freedoms with what's already there. Just tell better stories. See you next time.